Hey guys, welcome to a new session of ours. It's basically
It's alright.
It's a Rex Plex Podcast, and we're gonna be talking about every game reviews out there that's going on. We're gonna do a little discussion and see what is going on out there. And for you guys that don't know or just don't want to check out those other GameSpot assholes, they can mislead all the other information. We'll try to give you the best information the best way we can.
Yeah.
And opening up, guys, we're just going to talk about the death of Satoru Iwata. I don't know how to say his name.
Mr. Iwata.
Mr. Iwata.
Yes, man.
R.I.P. I mean, he took over presidency, as you guys know, in 2002 after Hiroshima, whatever, Yamaguchi stepped down as president. And what basically is, how did it impact us as gamers? Well, me and Carlos, honestly, we didn't get to play the GameCube. We were more of a PlayStation 2 guy and still had 64 coming around. And yes, guys, Kevin, not Rob, what do you think? What's your take on the accomplishment of what he did during that era?
Well, the way I see it is that, a lot of people don't know this, but Nintendo basically saved gaming. Many years ago, around the 80s, games was going down, and once the release of E.T. came out from the Atari,
I recommend you guys playing that.
It's it's a 10 out of 10 idea. But that basically helped nail the nails in the coffin, for gaming. And when Nintendo came around, they just revamped gaming into what it is now. We wouldn't have all these $1 million, billion-dollar companies if it wasn't for Nintendo that saved it. So the Nintendo is always precious to me. I would say I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I love platformers and everything. So the death of him, it was a shock to me. Someone that I wouldn't say he wasn't very active in the community, but he cared what Nintendo was doing. He was a good president.
That's true.
His legacy will forever be going with Nintendo.
What was your first Nintendo game? Because growing up, us together, we used to play Nintendo all the time.
Super Mario World, I think, the one where we used to go down a squat with Mario and start doing poo poo, poo poo. I mean, we're talking about the old Mario.
Yeah, being honest with you, that was the first one. I think I was about like 4 years old. I was playing the first Nintendo, NES, and I was playing Super Mario Brothers. And that was the first Super Mario one. Then after that, around 95, I was 5 years old, they gave me a Nintendo 64, and mine was Mario Kart. And I tell you, I used to love playing that game.
5 or 8. 5 or 8. 98 was when Mario Kart, and Nintendo 64 was when that was.
Sure, no, it was 95.
Wiki.
I remember I was 5 years old.
Oh, man. It has to be somewhere 5 or 8. I'm so sorry, but it has to be somewhere there.
That's when I remember I used to.
I only had the SNS for the SNES for a little while, but then I went straight to Sega. So really, honestly, I can't say I was more.
64 Mario Kart came out in.
Well, you're close though. You're
I was
right.
close.
You
I got bad memory.
by 1 year.
Bad memory.
So yeah, hey, whatever. I mean, still, that was his first generation console that he really enjoyed too. I remember he played that constantly.
Yeah.
And once I turned 8, that's when I got my 64.
Yeah.
Because I was more into Sega Genesis, and basically that was it.
Yeah, you were playing Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighters and Sonic. That's when Sonic was fun.
Yeah, Sonic.
But yeah, so growing up, Nintendo was was there. Whatever we play now, we mostly play, these cinematic style games on the PlayStation, it's too cinematic that they came out with that game, 1886. That is, I like to refer it as a 6-hour movie, It's beautiful, but, if those who haven't seen the gameplay or, it's only 6 hours, and most of it is like, what do you call that? The live action,
live action.
Yeah,
cinematic.
yeah,
Live action cinematic.
And sometimes it's good to remember. I'm a big retro guy. I love collecting retro games from the past. Like especially like the Mario. Like you guys said, I played the shit out of the GameCube.
Yeah.
So playing simple games like that, you just have simple objectives. It's pretty good once in a while. So his death, his legacy will forever, be there. The question is, who's gonna take where he left off?
They have to pick up big time, but
we're gonna have to find out who's able to pick up his legacy and lead Nintendo forward.
Oh, that's gonna be a big gap to be filled on.
Yeah. And how a couple of years ago people were like saying that Nintendo was doing awful, that and that they're almost gonna go bankrupt or all that BS.
Oh yeah, it was.
And saying that the Wii was like the most disastrous thing ever created in existence, which to tell you the truth is not, because Nintendo have made worse products. Like the Virtual Boy. Have you guys ever heard of Virtual Boy?
Yeah, I've seen it. You let it all put it on the table and look at it while playing video games, right?
Yeah, that's like, Oculus 1996. So,
That is true.
And it's like the point, that a lot of people don't see, they released the Nintendo Wii U with also with Sony and Xbox, you could say. They released their console with not major games, major game releases.
Yeah.
Which that's why it took, for me, I feel that's why it took them longer for the consoles, to get good and people buying them.
Yeah, that's true.
With the release of Mario Kart 8, within that week they sold like 3-point-something million copies of Mario Kart 8.
So it's off the head.
Generator stabilized.
Yeah.
Alright, rest in peace, Mr. Iwata. Now the next subject that I want to bring up to you boys and see you guys out there. Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3. The Dreamcast game that was all forgotten, and it actually broke records recently as a Kickstarter, beating Castlevania by $5,553,470.
Yeah.
And basically, how can I put this? How excited are people out there? There's a lot of people that are really excited that Shenmue 3 is coming out, but like every other games that everybody announced sometimes, we're going to release this, it's never going to be released.
Yeah.
Is there hope for it? Is it going to be released? Is it not? What's your guys' take into that? Me, honestly, I believe it is going to come out, but it better not flop. Because the anticipation when every game comes out, everybody's going to be like, I want this game. And then out of nowhere, just a disaster.
It pops out, right?
And just like...
it becomes a disaster. It's like almost like Duke Nukem. Remember guys about Duke Nukem? Video game, that kind of flopped, and it took a long time to try to make that game.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
Being honest with you, I haven't played Shenmue and know much about it. But I say go for it. It's a game that hardly anybody have heard about it this generation I'm talking about.
Yeah, because mainly this generation didn't really grow up much. Not all of us, I'm not saying all of us, but some of us haven't really got into. Like recently, I just started playing like what you guys recommend to start playing. Mostly I was more into sport games.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to start catching up right now. So really, it's fun. It's a lot of work you have to put into, and it's more entertaining than what you guys think. For all you sport guys out there that just play FIFA, Madden, or NBA, give these games a chance, because it's just beautiful, and the artwork is so alive, and I see that with this new game that they're trying to make.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it is going to get to that level.
So yeah, with Shenmue, a lot of people that that played the Dreamcast that came out, and were Sega fanboys basically.
Awesome. It was awesome.
The dubbing, if you've never seen it, I recommend you. Maybe we'll post a little video while we're talking.
Yeah. Do you
Shenmue
know Chinese people?
is like very story driven, but like the acting, is just a piece of shit. But a lot of people like it. It has a cult following because of that,
Do you know
the
the
acting
Dean Barber and hair
greatest,
salon?
but the story,
It
is
doesn't
pretty
look like you
unique.
need a haircut just yet.
People loved it.
Yeah, that's right,
And-
but I was thinking
And
about
you
changing
guys
my hairstyle.
remember the reaction
Is
of,
that so?
Oh, it was
Well,
E3.
you're supposed to.
Everybody was crazy. I even was crazy.
Everybody was
I'll give
screaming.
you some extra allowance money
Shenmue
tomorrow.
3,
No thanks, Ine-san.
Shenmue 2
I
came
have
out
enough.
for
Well,
Dreamcast.
if
I
you
know
say
they
so.
also made it came out for the Xbox. I don't know if it's sort of they remastered it. I just remember it came out for the Xbox. And yeah, and it reached its goal within three days or 2 days or 1 day, and I find that great. I think they will succeed. It may take a while because games aren't made overnight. And the thing that you were saying about the Duke Nukem that took 15 years and sucked, but games like that, you often you can't really count those because those games companies picked up and dropped. Different companies picked up and dropped. So but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. And I think this should raise up another concern. Will we, how the industry is now. They make games. They promise beautiful trailers, and then when you get the game, it's either buggy, shitty, or just too pricey. With all the DLCs that come out before the game. You guys know how.
Yeah, we chat. We all know.
And will we in the future? There's a guy that I forgot his name, but I watched the video that he said, will we in the future have to kickstart games that we actually want to play? It's basically, if you think about it, you're reserving your own, your own copy. If you put 60 down, on the Kickstarter, with all the perks and stuff, it's like a long pre-order,
And a long pre-order that may not even come out.
Yeah, so there's a risk on taking it, but I think if there's a game that you personally like, or if you see a Kickstarter that's interesting you, you should take it.
Yeah, take the chance. Yeah.
Especially if it's a creator known, like the guy that created Shenmue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, and when I firstly found out when the Castlevania, it's not a new Castlevania, it's the Soul Successor.
Yeah.
Which is basically, the person that created it created a new game, but it reminds you of the old one.
Castlevania.
Especially the one, the Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's basically the sole successor of that particular, and and it's crazy that these creators, leave companies like what happened with Konami.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Kojima.
Maybe Kojima will make a PT that you would have to kickstart, a Silent Hill, maybe a successor, a spiritual successor. That maybe it's not gonna call Silent Hill, we call whatever, but would you put help kickstart a Silent Hill that's the PT,
Yeah, I would definitely do so.
Because a lot of these companies are now getting way greedier. Now that basically gaming is a $1 billion in a whole.
Yeah, in a whole. To make a video game, it takes about millions of dollars now. It's not cheap now.
And especially that they get
Supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. People get greedy. They try to make the fastest game as possible, and try to get the most out of it.
Yeah, the most out of it. And
what happened to us?
Like that recently. There was a game recently like that too, right?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed.
Remember when we first saw it in E3 last year? Oh man, that game was
we thought
great.
it was gonna be great.
Like, oh man, now that most games are multiplayer, and you want to play with your friends, So you know that you know it was the idea was amazing. Oh wow, we're a bunch of assassins working together to kill some guy.
Yeah.
But you know what you got was a lot of people falling through the world. You know,
Big time.
and like the craziest glitches you could see with the people
with
missing
no
their faces.
Yeah, missing their faces and everything.
And
oh, you guys. That's what happens when you rush stuff.
Yeah,
and then
I remember when they said that we got that Auto 2, remember? I'm
Grand
like, leave
Theft
it
Auto 3,
alone.
like-
Let them wait until...
When it was released on, I say, PlayStation 3, look what happened.
Leave it alone. It's going to come out right, and it came out right. Even though in PlayStation 4 it wasn't that much as fun, because we already played it on PlayStation 3, but hey,
you know, and to top it off, they try to add whatchamacallit,
DLC.
not DLCs, what's that word? You know, freemium when you have to buy shit.
Oh yeah,
oh, buying coins and shit,
Yeah, you
like
have to
FIFA
buy-
points and
yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
play free games, but it's not necessarily free.
Yeah, you know, on top of paying $60 for a buggy game, they're gonna be like, oh, you know, you wanna buy extra shit, you know, pay $10 to get like in-game currencies. You know, I paid $60 for a game that isn't even functional, and then on top of that you want
more.
yeah, just to get a little extra perk.
Yeah,
that
it's
is true.
ridiculous, man.
That is true.
Alright guys, that topic is completed for right now. Maybe till next time, if anybody wants to hear more, leave a comment below. We're going to talk about now how Xbox is outselling PlayStation 4 in the week of E3. Given that Xbox last year E3 in 2014 wasn't the greatest, it rose 79%. Should Sony boys, like fanboys like us, be concerned, because a lot of people that are Xbox make this fake war that is one is better than the other, but we should just appreciate all three consoles, even 4 coming out soon with Alienware, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Alienware box.
The Alienware box. The company
So I mean,
console.
it's great that Xbox is finally going back up. I kind of
Inner Sony fanboy that wanted to.
yeah, I mean, but I know it's great that at least they're going back up, because at least we know we have somebody to compete. Remember, like WWE had to go against WCW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess beef sells.
Yeah.
So it's great, but there's already people concerned saying that Xbox One is going to make a comeback again. Should people that own Sony be concerned about it?
I personally feel, me being an Xbox player, I used to play the 360 until I got the PS4, because when Xbox first came out, they wanted to add all these regulations and the Connect always on. You couldn't even masturbate at night without the camera filming you 24/7.
That is true.
And as a collector, they're saying that you only could download games. You can't actually have them physically.
Yeah.
A hard copy of it. It hurt. When it first came out. So for Xbox fans, I understand why they're saying, we're the greatest. But because Sony had their moment too. When the Xbox first came out, nobody was really buying it because of those. It took until Xbox decided, you know what, fuck the Connect. Started selling it that where it started to rise again.
Yeah.
And I think Sony fanboys, you guys shouldn't be concerned, because next year is gonna show truly, which is the better console.
Yeah.
With the announcement of Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, the remake of it. Man, you gotta miss it.
And people are gonna buy that game. PlayStations are gonna sell.
And I'm not that type of person, but I'm considering buying it.
And with actually Sony having the Black Ops beta
exclusive,
and we get the DLC first. It's always been Xbox that got the DLC 1 month before Sony. Excuse me.
That is true. I say, for me personally, how I say about Xbox and PlayStation, of course, we all seen it, even from E3, that PlayStation 4 is a far more powerful machine than Xbox. as you can see, for me personally, I was watching the PlayStation 4 and they show a lot of gameplay footage. I have not, there wasn't too much about, cinematic. When I saw a few of Xbox One, footage, they were showing more cinematics than the actual gameplay. But here's the thing. Right now, as they will consider, is the rise of online games. Everybody loves online games. And I feel like Xbox has a bigger community of gaming, online games, than PlayStation does.
Yes.
I say a lot of people like to play on Xbox and all collaborate together and have fun together. I hear people on PlayStation 4, they don't have a lot of friends like that. And it's mostly like that. I feel like the Xbox has a more online community than the PlayStation. That's why I think that the Xbox is gonna try to be number one for the PlayStation. But of course, as I said, the PlayStation is a powerful system.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, guys, thanks for replying with that. All right, guys, as we continue on, we're going to talk about another thing that's been trending basically on Twitter and whatnot, well, and Game Informers and stuff like etc. They're talking about they want to bring a World War III video game type scenario, and basically
a shooting game, right?
For shooting games, just in general, just a World War III theme. Because we so far have 2 games already, which is more futuristic. Even Destiny's still futuristic.
Kind of basically, I think we have like almost every game from Halo to Metro Dukes to freaking Call of Duty. A lot of games are becoming too futuristic.
And they're saying that it's too futuristic, but at the same time they want present day World War III, not like too futuristic. Yeah, like a story like that. But there's people out there as well that want World War I back, Vietnam back. And there's even creative ones that they want to bring like present day with not real events, just made up events.
Yeah.
Like, what's your guys' take? Should we stay with that? Should we experiment with something new out there, or should we just be happy what we got now and just experiment with that too?
Me personally, I would like to go back to Modern Warfare again. Make another series of Modern Warfare. Because lately there has been a lot of future games about shooting, like that big trend of zombie games. Everything there was a whole blast about zombie games. Now all the first-person shooter games are all futuristic. I would like to go back. Go back to Modern Warfare. For me personally, I started playing on Ghost, like really be online on Call of Duty Ghost. And from switching from Ghost to Advanced Warfare and Destiny, all those jetpack and everything, I don't like it much. I still play it, but I don't like all that jet jumping and everything. What do you think?
I personally feel that people got tired of it quick because all these major companies and shooter games are basically all futuristic, and they came out all at the same time. Yeah. There wasn't Destiny came out, then Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare came out, and they're all basically futuristic. The Halo that came out, and I think people, instead of spacing it out, one FP and Titanfall.
Yeah, Titanfall.
Yeah. All those futuristic war games. They all basically came out in the span of 1 or 2 years, and I feel that people. Overdosed on it, you could say. I personally don't like. I used to play Call of Duty. I started playing during Modern Warfare 2, basically online, and I had the time of my life playing it. Black Ops 2. Even though it was futuristic, it wasn't as futuristic. Now that there's laser gun Call of Duty and all that. And playing Destiny with you guys, when we went to the midnight release.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Hopefully in the future, we go to more midnight releases.
Yeah, put some vlogs up there too for you guys.
And the way I see it is like they should have spaced it out more, like maybe two futuristic game and then one old one or something like that, so people don't get bored.
Yeah.
And that's so it's not surprising at all that that people want these old style games to come back.
That is true. Except for Battlefront. I want to play Battlefront. You know I want to play Battlefront, hands down.
Hands down, I'm a Star Wars fan.
But for Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty should bring back back to war modern series.
Yeah, you know.
Good stuff, guys. Well, a quick little recap for you guys. We just basically talked about the death of Iwata, 3, Xbox, and what we just talked about shooting games. Does it go back or not? Then I'm gonna give you guys a little thing if you guys didn't know. Mortal Kombat X DLC will be coming out pretty soon. It's gonna be a live stream on Tuesday, July 21st. Hopefully you guys check that out. See if you guys are into that. Personally, me, I didn't like the story mode. It's too cheesy. Too cheesy, guys. Too cheesy. WB. Shadow of Mordor wasn't like that, but you know, no spoiler alert.
What happened to Quan Chi, man? Look what happened to Deadly Alliance. Quan Chi was a beast. Now he's like a little. You know what I mean?
A little. So back to the segments, guys. Oculus is coming out with a 3D virtual hand tricking show. Basically, it's like you put your goggles and you could do like kryptons or whatever, and stuff like that.
Thing, right?
And are we ready for it? And not only that, PlayStation 4 it has joined with Morpheus, I guess. So they're making a PS4 Morpheus type Oculus headset, which is coming to a GameStop Expo. If you guys are interested, on September 2nd, Las Vegas. All the attendees are going to show up. It's basically Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Activision Blizzard, EA, and Take-Two will all be there. And yeah, guys, well, what do you guys think? Are you guys ready for Oculus, or are you not?
I think the question comes down to it, are we ready to go to the extra step, the virtual reality, you know? They tried, like I said, we were talking about earlier, the virtual world, they tried back in 1990, whatever, in the 90s. And, you know, it didn't work out. And, you know, now that everything is more advanced, maybe it could turn out better, but personally, I don't want to, you know, not yet at least. I think they should give it more time, work on it more, you know, because I'm enjoying the current gaming, how gaming is now, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you know, even though it's very cinematic and all that, but it's still fun. You still have find fun games to play.
Yeah.
So I think gaming is great as it is now. You know, MOBAs are exploding. You know, MMOs. You know, more people are getting into that. Fighting games are getting.
Okay, guys, to end the segment right now for the podcast, we're going to talk about ESPN. You know, basically, who was it that they were trying to say? You know,
The president of ESPN.
the president of ESPN saying that competitive gaming is not a sport. Basically, that they're not going to televise that because they don't think, you know, it's not considered sport. So, what do you guys think? Is it should it be televised by ESPN, or should somebody else come in and say, "Hey, we'll take over and we'll give you your own channel"? There was somebody like that before, remember? When they had like a special IGN type show.
G4.
G4, yeah, they had that before. And well, do you guys? Do you really agree with ESPN, or do you not? I mean, what's your voice into this?
Yeah, I'll go first. I say
Sorry, I'm using
the president is right. Of course, the gaming is not sport, but it is an entertainment. It is in the channel basically about entertainment and sport. Because look, this other thing than just sport. ESPN, isn't there poker? It's a poker game. I've seen a domino competition there. Why wouldn't they put an LCS championship there? Why don't they host that? Why don't they host another mobile game from Dota? Heroes of the Storm or Hearthstone, or a trading card game.
I think they did one time televised the Dota one.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong.
And I say, they should do that. I say, here's a perfect example. Look what happened on, I say, the playoffs on NBA, on ABC, the championship on that. I say, supposedly the LCS championship on Twitch had more views than the one on ABC. Don't they want more views on their own channel? What do you think, Rob?
Not bad.
Not bad.
My take on it, I disagree with you. I do believe competitive gaming is a sport. Maybe not the high high, you know, endurance. You know, maybe you don't have to run a mile like these frolic people or have to hit, you know, home runs. But it is a sport because you need, you know, you've seen the Smash tournament, how those people need to have a high peak reaction. You know, some of these players just need stuff for a mere seconds, and they're able to react. Like in League of Legends, you know, one perfect ult, you know, it takes one perfect ult and also one person's good reaction to dodge the ult to win the team fight, you know?
Yeah. Nah, you got a point there.
Yeah, you're right.
I personally, it doesn't really, for me, in my personal opinion, it doesn't matter if it's on ESPN or not, like LCS or any esports game, because there's the internet. The internet so far beats any cable cable provider in views, because you know cable providers, you know, are often, you know, regionalized, and the internet is not. You meet people from all around the world on the internet. That's why I feel the internet is better to you know, people that from China could watch, you know, and stream from
Championship.
yeah, you know, world, you know, anywhere around the world to watch any
World Cup.
Yeah.
Any cup going on, amateur thing. So yeah, I agree with you guys. Well, I agree mostly ESPN said that it's not competitive. I agree. It is competitive. If they're putting up NASCAR, which basically you're just steering, you're really not doing much. Basically, you have a crew member to actually hook up your engine in the way you actually feel like driving it. And you have poker, of course. You're just
strategizing.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you have people playing pool. I mean, pool is another competitive game.
Yeah, the billiards.
So I think ESPN is just losing, you know, big potential of having these type of games going on. Because at night, so let's say when SportsCenter is coming on, ESPN2 could be showing like tournament things or repeats of the tournament. Some people want to see repeats all the time.
Yeah, of course.
People see some of these YouTubers more than once.
Yeah.
You know, because people like stuff like that. Well, you know, then again, if they don't want to, I mean, it's their company, really.
That is true.
But I do agree with you, Carlos, really. Come on, ESPN's broadcasting basically poker games.
Yeah,
and
that is true.
it's kind of like, it's like, well, this is a gaming. It's still, like Kevin says, you're moving your thumbs.
And I have the most high reflex of all.
Your eyes is actually on the screen. Your mind is somewhere else. Other people just zone out and just go freaking go all out and just play their asses off. And so yeah, guys. Well, anything else? Anybody want to add anything to this?
I think it's, you know, ESPN is just losing the big potential of viewership, and gaming will continue to grow, and competitive gaming will grow. You know.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, hopefully it's not too late that they made this mistake, you know, potential to get all these games viewership. But in my opinion, you know, it's fine the way it is, you know. For now, the internet is the place where they should
Alright, guys. Fuck me.
I just started hearing the fucking... Can we add music to it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's last minute. If anybody stayed for that long, I mean, they might as well just watch the whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Alright,
Okay, so I guess we're going to close it.
Yeah, close it out.
Alright, guys.
So, give it count.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, guys, well, that's it, really. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed half of the things we were speaking of. If anything, just leave a comment below. If you like the video, you know, hit that like button. And if you want to be a movement of Rex Plex, it's EDM here.
Join our channel, subscribe.
Yeah, you know,
Charlie Brown here.
And if there's any topic you guys want us to talk about, you know, don't be shy. Put it in the comments, you know.
And it'll be such a thing.
Yeah, go for it.
You know,
Go
if
for it.
there's anything that you think we could improve or talk about, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. We feed off of that.
Alright, guys.
All right. Later,
Yeah.
later.